Stacey Abrams is not entirely well known. She's the person in Georgia that ran in that race, the gubernatorial race in Georgia. She lost it barely, but she did lose it. I don't necessarily know if she's a mainstream name in the sense that a lot of people who don't necessarily pay attention to politics know her, but people who do pay attention to politics know that she has put forward one of the loudest campaigns to be chosen for vice president than I think I have ever come across, going back over the X number of years that I've been paying attention to politics. She has been open about it. She's been in the media about it. She's even made the point that Joe Biden needs to choose a black woman for his vice presidential spot, that the black community basically is owed this because that got Joe Biden basically in the prominence and the position that he's in now. Now, the catch is that despite Stacey Abrams making this major pitch, I am unclear on what her attributes are that would give Joe Biden any level of an advantage choosing her for that spot. Joe Biden is already going to get the black vote, so he doesn't necessarily need her for that. And again, she's not necessarily one of these high-powered names that are going to draw people to her position. It depends on what Joe Biden needs, right? But despite what Joe Biden needs, if he has to choose an African-American woman, he will most likely choose Kamala Harris as opposed to one Stacey Abrams. And even between Kamala Harris, he might get more bang for his buck with somebody like Warren, even as opposed to a Harris. Warren at least has a capacity to con some lefties, whereas Harris doesn't necessarily bring anything to the table. Again, it depends on what Joe Biden thinks he needs. But that's kind of besides the point. Regardless of who Joe Biden chooses, that person will not be Stacey Abrams. And that was made abundantly clear on television with Lawrence O'Donnell. And I'm going to show you the exact moment that Stacey Abrams realized that Joe Biden was not going to choose her for presidency. Welcome. Late night, can't sleep, soapbox. My name is Jamal Thomas. This is the Progressive Soapbox. Guys, if you dig this content, please like, share, subscribe. You can always support this content through PayPal or Patreon. This content is brought to you by you, and I appreciate you the opportunity for allowing me to do it. Well, oh, by the way, contributor appreciation will be tonight. We're going to have it this evening. I don't know if Miss Thomas is going to join me or not, but either way, we're going to have it this evening. Let's say around 5 or 6 o'clock. It'll give me some time to get a few shows in before we start. So Stacey Abrams is trying to be the VP, the veep stakes. Joe Biden still has not necessarily chosen a VP, or at the very least, we're unaware of who he chose. For the longest time, Hillary Clinton had already chosen her VP of Tim Kaine. She just kept it under wraps. Joe Biden might be doing the same thing. Either way, despite not knowing who he's going to choose, at this point, at the very least, there's one person on that list who it seems that he is not going to choose. Stacey Abrams. Come on down. Joe Biden invites Stacey Abrams to come on to Lawrence O'Donnell with him. Now, Abrams, I suspect, because of that, is thinking that Joe Biden is about to announce. Joe Biden had other ideas.
So I want to begin this with a question to Joe Biden, because Stacey Abrams is here because Joe Biden invited Stacey Abrams to be here. Mr. Vice President, do you have an announcement to make? Is this an audition? What is the reason that?
She's so happy. She's like giggling and laughing. She's like, oh, this is so funny. Let's keep going.
That you decided it's time for me to get on TV with Stacey Abrams.
Well, because Stacey Abrams has done more to deal with the fair vote and making sure there is a fair vote than anybody. And she has a great capacity to explain things and to lay out exactly why it's going to be so critically important in this election. This president's already said when they put in the stimulus package, the Congress first passed money to provide for mail-in ballots. He already said, I'm not for that. If we do that, no Republican will ever win, or something to that effect. He's made it clear.
She is not happy. She is not happy. And if you notice, Biden immediately went from where he knew Lawrence O'Donnell was trying to go with that was, look, is this a VP thing? I mean, are you bringing her on the show for that explicit purpose? Now, I would make the point that Joe Biden brings Stacey Abrams on the show to use her as a prop. A, she's a female. B, she's black. And he can at the very least make this pitch or this show that he's functioning and working with the African-American community, whether or not he chooses an African-American for VP or not. Whether she's a prop, whether she's a token, whether Joe Biden had something else that he was using it for, it did not seem to be for the VP spot. And this is dawning on Abrams all at once. Let's start over. Let's do it one more time.
Give this with a question, Stacey Abrams. Mr. Vice President, do you have an announcement to make? Is this an audition? Is there, what is the reason that you decided it's time for me to get on TV with Stacey Abrams?
Well, because Stacey Abrams has done more to deal with the fair vote and making sure there is a fair vote than anybody. And she has a great capacity to explain things and to lay out exactly why it's going to be so critically important in this election. This president's already said when they put in the stimulus package the Congress first.
Oh, did you see that? Let's see that one more time. She's taking like a deep breath. That's the Serenity Now breath. That's like, I am going to choke this motherfucker. Let's see that one more time.
This election, this president's already said when they put in the stimulus package the Congress first passed money to provide for mail-in ballots. He already said, I'm not for that. If we do that, we'll no Republican.
Oh, this is painful. This is so painful.
Republic will never win or something to that effect. He's made it clear. This is the guy who said he wants to defund the post office from being able to deliver ballots. I mean, so Stacey knows.
Oh, she is not happy. Now, I don't know what the topic was that Lawrence O'Donnell was originally going to go with when Stacey Abrams came on. It's very possible that they were talking about something else. But nevertheless, Joe Biden immediately went to voting rights, went to Trump in the post office, went to Trump saying, meaning he went to every other topic that he could get his hands on as opposed to talking about anything concerning with the vice president spot. I don't know what his reason was for bringing Abrams on, if I'm being honest. And maybe Joe Biden didn't either, at the very least from the standpoint of an explicit reason that he could say. It's not the easiest thing in the world to say, I brought her on because she's black and I want people to see me with a black woman. That's what I want. It's the same reason why I kept saying I was part of the civil rights movement when I wasn't. This is an image that I want to convey, and I want myself to be shown with her. Whether or not I choose her, secondary. I just want to be sitting here with her on camera. But I can't tell you that, Lawrence O'Donnell. So I'm going to tell you about the post office. I'm going to tell you about her and her voting rights record, meaning fighting hard for voting rights. And I'm going to tell you about Donald Trump saying that he can't win if everybody gets a ballot. Her deep breaths, man, she is not, like, look at this. I don't think I'm wrong on this. So
this election,
watch her
this
closely.
president's already said when they put in the stimulus package the Congress first passed money to provide for mail.
Look at the camera. Don't respond. He's saying something you don't particularly like. I'm going to choke this motherfucker when I get the chance.
In ballots. He already said, I'm not for that. If we do that, no Republican will ever win or something to that effect. He's made it clear. This is a guy who said he wants to defund the post.
Right there. You can only hide disgust so well, even as politicians. Let her keep going.
Office from being able to deliver ballots. I mean, so Stacey knows what she's doing, and she's an incredibly capable person.
Ouch. This is going to be the moment where they say I'm going to be the VP. Yes! He's not saying I'm going to be the VP. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? Look, this is not me hating on Abrams. I just find it funny. That's all. I haven't said anything positive or negative about Abrams outside of her taking all the money from Bloomberg. And I think people have an idea of her that I don't necessarily buy just because of its narrative. Nevertheless, I don't like the Democratic Party. And Abrams is basically running as a Democrat, trying to get Joe Biden elected. And so when she finds out that she's not going to be VP in this very specific moment on television, I find it hilarious. You can say I'm a horrible person for it. Is what it is. Like, share, and subscribe.